Hey guys, it's Jordan DeMedio. I'm just doing my presentation on my paper, that we transferred to PowerPoint. So the title is Transparency in Healthcare, um, and obviously Jordan DeMedio, you see my class name and everything like that. Um, so introduction, I wrote about Bill 4808, which is a Transparent Healthcare Pricing Act of 2018. Um, the goal, as you can see, is to make healthcare costs visible to consumers. Um, and then the way they do this is they show fees actually paid by insurance companies versus the fees charged, which is there's a lot of um, that varies a whole lot, and I don't think many people are aware of that. Um, Also, healthcare costs are increasing. So between 1960 and 2013, the percent GDP spent on healthcare rose from 5 to 17% in the US. It's quite a huge change there. Right, so I told you that the costs vary. Um, Higher cost doesn't mean better care. One study that we'll talk about later showed that MRIs could vary between $300 and $3,000 for the same scan. These are in different facilities, and they're also in the same area, so it's not like different costs varying in different areas of the U.S. This is all in the same area, and it's not like there's one superior type of MRI. It's all the same. Um, and then patients should be charged for what they're getting. The current system has it so private health insurance patients pay larger amounts for healthcare just to make up for the amount of patients that are uninsured or don't have enough insurance. And my thought is that cost should be based on what is consumed. Um, so the background of this bill, it's currently in the U.S. Congress's Energy and Commerce Committee, and then past that, it's in the Subcommittee on Health. It it went to it was introduced in Congress on the 16th of January this year, and then it was referred to Energy and Commerce Committee the same day. Um, it's been in the Subcommittee on Health since the 19th, and it's been stalled there since the 19th. There was a similar bill last year that also sat in the Subcommittee on Health for the remainder of the session, so hopefully this one goes through, but probably not that likely. So more background for you. This bill was proposed by Representative Perlmutter. He is a Democrat representative from Colorado. He's also the same congressman that proposed a similar bill in 2017 that had also sat in the Subcommittee on Health. This year it actually got co-sponsored by Representative Gallagher and DeSantis, and they're both Republicans, so that makes this a bipartisan bill, and actually it makes me a little bit more excited about its possibility of passing. One of the issues, I think, is that this Congressman Burgess, he's the chairman of the Subcommittee on Health, and he is a Republican. So I think maybe the parties are, this might be stalling because of party lines. So yeah, the bill needs to go through this committee, then pass Congress, then pass Senate, and finally get signed in by President for it to become law. Okay, so here's a question. Can price transparency decrease prices for consumers? And yes, it can. Recent studies have shown that consumers will pick facilities with more reasonably priced procedures when given a choice. And then I have this MRI study. So there's a study that patients were given access to MRI prices. The people that were given the prices had a 9% decrease in prices over 2 years, in costs over 2 years, while the control group had a 14% increase in costs over 2 years. This shows you just how much of a difference it makes. And if we don't do anything, it'll keep increasing like this 14% did. Price versus quality. So lots of people, like you buy different products and usually, you kind of get what you pay for. Healthcare, it's not the case at all. Things like MRI, I mean, it's just standard across the board. There's no reason to pay more at one facility than you would for the other. And that's exactly what's happening. So, yeah, that's going to be a topic of discussion and education. Okay, so nursing practice changes based on this. Nurses will need to be more competent about costs of various procedures and treatments because, patients can be asking for it. And it's always our job to be an advocate for the patient. So we'll know more about it and hopefully be able to not just send them for unneeded tests and procedures. And then further research, we need more studies to be done to compare teaching modalities to find the best way of educating the public on how to use price transparency in the future. So that's about it. Sorry. So, Affordable Care Act was kind of the first step in improving healthcare for this generation at a national level. And I think that this price transparency bill is the next step. Now we have more people insured, but the insurance system is still kind of devious in how it pays out. And it would be helpful if there was some sort of, market control over this where consumers know what they're actually paying so they, can make things better for us. And also it'll give patients a chance to have more control over their health, which is always a good thing, I think. And that they'll pay for what they're actually receiving. Okay, great. So references here. That's it. Thanks for listening, guys.